Good evening, this is Judy, and I just wanted to give you an idea how to make these paper ornaments. I'm using our 'Tis the Season paper pack from Close to My Heart, and you start with a 6x6 sheet of cardstock, double-sided, and you cut it into 1/2 inch pieces by 6, and this is what we're going to create, ending with an ornament like this. This is one of the other sheets in the pack, and I also made this one from another one of our sheets. Paper is absolutely beautiful, so I want to show you how to do that. And I learned this from a dear friend at a crop last night, and she shared with me that she found it online, looked it up, and it's quite easy to find. There's lots of videos out there, so I wanted to create this for my customers, because these paper ornaments here are very dimensional, and the buttons are as well, and they're in a Workshop Your Way packet for scrapbooking, which makes your scrapbook very dimensional. They come in a pack of 4 with adhesive foam on it, and I don't know about you, but my scrapbooks are very thick anyways. Here's some of the buttons that are left, and these are the other ones that were on here. So I wanted to make enough to use up my buttons and my snowflakes. I thought I'd make a video. So the first thing you do is you fold it in half and make a good crease there. You got to be able to see the crease. And another one here. Okay. Then you're going to glue them together here and make an X. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you the difference of something I made. And this one, as you can probably see, and let me check. The paper is white core, and it's okay. It looks beautiful the way it is. But with this, I outlined with red marker. I shouldn't have carmine red. See if that'll focus. And I just went around the edges of all the pieces. You can really see it there, the red along this gray side. And it enhances it, covers up the white. So I'm going to do that real quick on these. And you don't want to leave these on the edges too long, because the ink will soak right into the paper, because they are very wet. These markers are actually quite dry now. I've used them for quite some time, and they've lasted a long time. I did get a new set. You can buy all of our markers in a set at once, and I believe I used it with our 50% off discount when I reached a higher level. But you can buy the markers one at a time, and they're in our catalog. There's lots of colors, and they match our papers pretty well. They're on page 139, and they're $6.50 a marker, which isn't too bad. They're comparable to all the other markers on the market, and I like them because they do have this broad flat tip for the only thing I've ever used this tip for is to outline the edge of papers, but the other tip is very fine line for an alcohol marker, and it's dense. It doesn't give you the brush tip that some markers do. I'll show you. It's very fine, so it leaves a really nice line, and that tip is the broad, and you can see it's marked here and here. And you lay them flat so that they stay inky. Okay, we're going to glue this together, and this is our liquid glass. And I may have gotten a little extra there. That's okay. And this is our mat. It's an all-purpose mat. It's non-stick. Nothing will stick to it, so if you get an overflow of glue like I did and it leaks out, it won't stick to it. And this liquid glass is dry shiny, so you don't want to get too much overflow like that. And of course it always happens when you're doing a video, right? So you're going to do this side. You want them opposite side of the paper. See, that's on the bottom, this is on the top. I'm going to lay one over here. And if I use my regular Versamat, which is the black one under here from Close to My Heart, this would probably stick to it by the time I got done. But with this all-purpose mat, it doesn't. And this is actually half of the all-purpose mat. I cut it in half because it was just huge. It's 16 by 20. And you can use it as a heating mat too for any of your embossing powders. See how that picked up real quick? And that'll come right off when I'm all done. It'll flake right off. Okay, so there you go. Now you're going to turn it over. It's not straight. It's okay, because it's just a decoration. Now you're going to weave it. Okay, so there's one weave. And this is the other weave. Okay, so there you go. Now, you want to be able to hold these papers down, and this one's going to come up, and you're going to glue here. I do like a little circle, not too much. This liquid glass is the best adhesive ever. It gives you just enough move time, but boy, when it's dry, it's not coming apart. So that's one. Lift this up. It's a little tiny bit there. Same with this side. There. Now we're going to go to this one. And I'll move it around so it's a little easier since I'm right-handed. Okay. Lift that up. Put some glue there. Set it down. Line it up. There. And I've got a little time to move it around to make sure it's good. If I mess up when I'm on video, I can adjust it. There. I just thought these were gorgeous. And she actually is going to make them to sell, I hope. They're beautiful. There's so many things you can use to decorate it. Okay, so I'm done now with this part. Pick it up and it'll be dry. Or stuck enough. Okay, now what you're going to do is set the X in front of you. And you're going to take this corner and put them together. Like so. Okay. Now this is where you do want to be a little precise. I'm going to put this into an X. And press together. And it does give you enough time to move. And it's quick enough where you don't have to hold it forever. So, about 5 seconds. And if it comes apart, then you can just glue it again. So, let's see if I can do this side. I'm actually trying to do this and watch on my iPad this stream in case, any comments come on. But I'm just figuring it out and it's not quite working. So, sorry about that, but I'll figure it out someday. Okay, and another one. And really think you could cut all these and sit and watch TV with your husband, and he won't even realize you're making a really great assortment of ornaments while enjoying time with you instead of sitting in your craft room, which is what I usually do. I really love to craft. Okay. So this will be our last one. I do want to adjust, so let's right to the tip. Hold it. Okay. There we go. Okay. Well, here's my first one that I made off camera before we started. And we're going to set them together. So, same side is out when this happens to be the red side. So you're going to take the ends and slide them through the other piece. Like so. And this just joins them together, and then we will glue each one tip to the pieces we're sticking through, and then we'll cut it off to a sharp point, and you're done. So there we go, all joined together. Now what we need to do, and I kind of do this maybe the opposite of other people, I'm going to do a little V with your glue and then slide it together and press. Okay, and then we're going to cut those two edges off after we're all done. And I do opposite ones. I haven't made very many of these, so I haven't had any problem with getting them together like this. I kind of push it down. I guess you could, you know, just stick it together like this and have a long end. But it kind of gives it some dimension here. And since it's going to be on the tree, why not? Or you could use it as a paper ornament. Put a tag on it or with it. You put pictures on it. Use it as a shaker function. All kinds of things. When she showed me, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can make so many of those and use so many things that I don't want to put on my scrapbook, because my scrapbooks are quite dimensional as they are, and adding a snowflake that's 1/4 of an inch high, I just think it would be a bit much. Okay, can you see how flat this side is compared to this side? It's puffed up. So it'll be the same once we get done. That's the point of pressing and joining the tip to the edge of the paper. It'll make this part puff up a little bit more. Okay, let's go to this side. I try to do every other side instead of going this side, this side, this side, and do opposite ends. I don't know if it matters. So far, that's just the way I've found to do it. That works for me. Okay. The liquid glasses also uses dimensional glue. You can put a dot of it on, like for making things look like water. Put it over something that looks like it has a glass cover on it. It dries clear, and you can see that it's a little shiny. It is shiny. You can get bubbles in it though. That can be frustrating. You have to use a pin to prick them out. Okay, so we are done. All 4 edges are done. Looks good. Now, I'm going to take your scissors, and these are our microtip scissors. Best scissors I've ever used, and I have used quite a few. They're non-stick as well. The only thing they really don't, these non-stick ones don't work as well with thread and ribbon as the regular scissors. So if you do invest in them, make sure you have other scissors for your material type things, ribbons and such, because these will fray them. Oh, this is the one that we just did, and as you can see, it was a little wet. So I'll just head over to this one because this is the first side. Sorry about that. Okay. And we're just following the edge of the tip point here. Okay. And gosh, these are so cute. And our paper is very adaptable to things like this. I love the different sides that are made here. And I'll show you on the other two that I've already done. Okay, all those corners are done. Right. But I do love the red and gray. And that's a good thing. I'm using non-stick for the glued part. And they're very easy to wipe off if you do get glue on them. But holy moly, they are great for cutting foam tape and tape itself. Things that have anything on them. Okay, we're done with that part. And they can put a punch a hole in it with your hole punch. And this is just a basic old hole punch. And let's see, put it here. Piece it out. And put some ribbon through there. And let's put on one of our other snowflakes. Now this is really sticky as it is, and I'm sure it would stick fine to most anything, but because it's going to be hanging on a tree and hopefully will last for years, I put some liquid adhesive on it. The liquid glass is going to make sure it sticks forever. Stick it on there, and voila, good. Well, let's pick a button. A button. Okay. Well, this definitely matches. So, and again, it has the foam adhesive. So add a little liquid glass. Well, actually, I think I'm going to put a little more on there because there's not a lot of paper for it to adhere to on top of this snowflake. I'm going to put my finger right in here, one of the snowflake edges. Let's stick it on here. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh. Okay, press. Now I'm sure I could press hard enough to squish this all together, but you don't want to squish the paper. I'm just holding it very firmly so that it stays. Alright, and it's done. Oh my gosh, I really like this one. I'm glad I saved this one to do on camera. Now, I also use some of our sequins to put on here, and I use the liquid glass for those as well. You can use glue dots, but I have had better luck with the liquid glass for something that's going to be touched and fumbled. This is our silver thread. I have other ribbon I could have put on here, but it's got a lot of it's got gold in it, and this does not have any gold, so I didn't want to not match. This is an old ribbon that's close to my heart because that ribbon is great, so I have lots of it, and I thought this would match really well with green, but I very well could have used the gold that we have with this and put gold sequins on here as well, but I chose the other ribbon. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you make any of these. I'd love to see your creations. Thank you. If you have any questions, my blog, stampinforeverblog.wordpress.com, and my Close to My Heart page for any products you might need, stampinforever.closetomyheart.com. Thank you very much.